brown noise and its health claims. If you've been watching TikTok videos lately, you might have noticed the buzz about brown noise. In fact, there are over 85.3 million views for hashtag brown noise. Let's learn about what brown noise actually is. The brown part doesn't mean the color, but Brownian motion. This was discovered by scientist Robert Brown in 1827 and explains the way that particles move in liquid or gas. The sound signals of brown noise change irregularly in a way that's similar to Brownian motion. Brown noise is now grouped with sonic cues such as white noise, pink noise, and more. How is brown noise different from white noise? The answer is the sound's frequency. White noise combines all frequencies to create a sound with a high pitch. This usually doesn't occur in nature and could sound like the hum of a vacuum cleaner. On the other hand, brown noise's low frequencies are louder than its high ones. Brown noise sounds more natural, like the roar of a river or waterfall. People are listening to brown noise because of all kinds of health claims. However, more studies are needed to conclude whether or not it's actually effective.
Hi everybody and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
I'm Elsie.
And today we're going to talk about something called brown noise. And this is not what happens when I go to the bathroom. Let's learn what it really is before we go any more down that road. So, the article starts by saying, if you've been watching TikTok videos lately, you might have noticed the buzz about brown noise. I don't watch TikTok. Do you go on TikTok? No, we're too old for TikTok. That's for kids and teenagers and young people. But yeah, there's a bit of a joke here. We'll explain it when we look at the word buzz. But first, we need to look at today's language in focus because this sentence contains it. So let's go to that right now.
今天的 Language in Focus 要讲到的是过去推测语气。那当我们使用情态助动词 might, may 或是 could 搭配原形动词的时候呢，能够表示对现在或是未来事件可能性较低的推测。那如果我们搭配的是 have 加上一个过去分词，那就可以表示对过去事件的推测哦。所以呢，句型会是主词出来之后，你选一个，可能是 might。may 或是 could 加上 have 以及一个过去分词，那否定的话你就把助动词做否定就可以了。所以刚刚一开始课文表示，假如读者近期有观看抖音影片的话，观看当时也就是个过去的时间点，对不对？可能会注意到棕色噪音的传闻，所以这里使用的是 might have 加上过去分词，也就是 noticed 这个字。那再给同学们一个例句I can't find the restaurant. Annie could have given me the wrong address. 我找不到餐厅 Annie 可能是给了我错误的地址，就是过去她给我地址的时候可能是不正确的。那如果你要表示对过去事实肯定的推测，你的助动词会使用的是must have 加上过去分词就可以了。For example, Harry didn't show up at work. Something must have come up. I'll reach out to check on him. Harry 今天没有来上班，一定是有什么事情发生，我会再打电话问候他。
Welcome back, everyone. So we've realized, or we've heard, or we've read that there's a bit of a buzz about brown noise on TikTok. Now, when we think of the word buzz, there are a couple of meanings. Buzz, like the sound of a bee or a fly buzzing around. But if there is a lot of buzz about something, that means there's a lot of people talking about it. There's a lot of attention being given to this thing like, oh, hey, have you heard of this? This is cool. A lot of people are talking about it. People are mentioning it on social media. You hear it on the news. You read articles about it. People are going, hey, this is cool. Check it out. Or have you heard about this thing? And it's something that's either pretty new or coming out soon. If there was a lot of buzz about a movie, people would be going, hey, have you heard they're making this movie? Or hey, have you seen the trailer yet? That kind of thing. People would be getting excited. But of course, with brown noise, which as we'll find out, it sounds a bit like a buzz, it's a bit of a double meaning, this word buzz. But let's have an example sentence using that kind of popular attention meaning. There has been a lot of buzz about AI and what it can do over the past 18 months.Buzz 在这边呢不是一个状声词哦，这边它是有意义的，它代表的是流言或是传闻，那它是一个不可数的名词，所以呢其实在英文作文里面，如果你用这样的开头是很不错的。There has been a lot of buzz about something， 那就是有很多对于点点点的传闻。And here we're talking about brown noise. Yeah, clearly there are a lot of people talking about it.And the article says, in fact, there are over 85.3 million views for hashtag brown noise. So that's the thing that people would search for or click on or look at. Let's learn about what brown noise actually is.
哇，这边提到呢，棕色噪音已经有超过8530万的观看次数。
So let's look at the name first, brown. The brown part.doesn't mean the color, but Brownian motion. That's where it gets its name from. It's nothing to do with the kind of color it might produce or the background of any videos you might watch. It refers to this thing called Brownian motion. So let's explain what this is. The article says, this was discovered by scientist Robert Brown.in 1827 and explains the way that particles move in liquid or gas.
所以原来呢 brown noise 虽然被翻作棕色噪音，但是 brown 这边指的不是颜色， brown 指的是Brownian motion， 也就是布朗运动。那这边还看到一个字呢，是 particle， 它指的是微粒、颗粒或是粒子。所以呢，这个布朗运动也解释了分子在液体和气体中的流动方式。那为什么要叫布朗运动？因为是这个植物学家 Robert Brown 所发现的。那这个英国的植物学家，他的另外一项重大的贡献，你一定知道，就是他命名和证实细胞核的存在。
So why has brown noise got this particular name? Well, the article says the sound signals of brown noise change irregularly in a way that's similar to Brownian motion. So if something is done irregularly, it's not in a regular pattern. It's not got an organized way like this, then this, then this, then this, then repeat. It's pretty random. And this is the way particles move around in liquid or gas. There's no real rule or structure to it. It's this kind of, it goes this way and then suddenly it'll move and then it won't and then everything will do its own thing. There's nothing really to actually order it in a sequence or structure. That's the same way that these noise frequencies, the sound signals, just change. You don't really know what's coming when.
这里看到的副词 irregularly 指的是不规则的，所以棕色噪音的声音讯号它以不规则的方式变化，那就和布朗运动的是相似的。
So we see in the article, brown noise is now grouped with sonic hues such as white noise, pink noise, and more. So the word sonic refers to sound waves, and the word hue means color. So it's these names for colors of sound almost. We give these things names. White noise, pink noise, and now there's this brown noise.
好，我们整理一下。第一个 sonic 这个形容词呢，指的是声音的或是声波的。那形容的名词 hue 指的是颜色、色调。所以噪音的颜色命名跟声音讯号在声谱上面的强弱或种类是有关系的。白噪音啦、粉红噪音、棕色噪音皆为 sonic hues 的例子。不过它们又有什么样的不同呢？ How are they different from each other?Well,
that's what the article asks. How is brown noise different from white noise? And the answer is the sound's frequency.
哦，原来是跟这个声音的 frequency， 也就是频率有关系。
Yeah, this isn't the frequency in terms of how often something occurs. It's the height of the sound wave, the kind of sound that is being produced. So we see in the article, white noise combines all frequencies, so that's high and low and so on, to create a sound with a high pitch.Okay, this it helps if you know music here. I don't really. But a pitch is how low or high a sound is. We especially talk about it for musical notes. A high pitch is that oh, and the low pitch is the oh, that kind of thing. So you might say the singer has quite a deep voice, so he can't sing high notes with a high pitch easily. And think of voices. Young people have high-pitched voices, and men's get deeper as we get older, generally.Right,
所以 pitch 这个名词呢，指的是声音的高低度或是声调。那如果是高音，你用 high 来形容；低音你用 low。那白噪音结合的是所有不同的频率，并且创造出一个高音音调的声音。
So this, meaning white noise, this high-pitched sound, usually doesn't occur in nature and could sound like the hum of a vacuum cleaner.A hum is any kind of low, steady, continuous sound. It's not like the humming, but if you did one note humming like you could say white noise is a bit like that kind of thing. It's actually more like if your TV suddenly stops working, you get that
Okay, but
sound.
I thought the hum of a vacuum cleaner sounds really low.It's
kind of a
that kind.
Yeah. So, and there are other kinds of hums you can have. Here's an example. There was a low hum of conversation in the coffee shop. Now, if you hear like 20 people all kind of talking in low voices at once, you can't pick out any individual words, maybe just the odd one or two, but it does create this sound like... And I've done this on stage. People on stage, if they're doing background noise, they just say the word rhubarb over and over again. Rhubarb. And if you're in the audience, it just sounds like, okay, people are talking in the back. We can't really hear them. We don't know what they're saying. But it creates this background noise of conversation, this hum.Hum,
OK, 我们这边看到 hum 这个名词指的是持续而且低沉的嗡嗡声。那白噪音呢，通常是在大自然中听不到的，它听起来会比较像是 vacuum cleaner， 也就是我们刚刚讲到吸尘器所发出来的嗡嗡声。
So that's white noise. On the other hand, brown noise's low frequencies are louder than its high ones. So in this sentence, we use this contrasting phrase, on the other hand. It's a transition and it shows that something is opposite or very different from what came before. Now, you'll often hear or see this in an article paired with one thing being on the one hand and then the contrasting thing on the other hand. But it's totally okay to just use on the other hand for the contrast. You don't absolutely need the first part.
好，当我们要表示一方面如何，另外一方面又是如何的时候呢，我们可以说 on the one hand 或者是 on the other hand。但是呢，你不会总是看到它们成对出现哦。像是呢，本课课文当中，你只看到 on the other hand， 也就是另一方面如何如何。
Okay, so the low frequencies are louder, and what does that actually mean in terms of what we hear? The article says brown noise sounds more natural, like the roar of a river or waterfall. Okay, so that's got a kind of like more of that sort of sound maybe to it. Maybe it's kind of slightly more pleasant, but we call that a roar. And it's not a roar like you think of a lion or a tiger roaring. It's a loud, continuous noise made by the wind or the sea or by a machine, that kind of thing. Now, I've been to Niagara Falls, one of the biggest waterfalls in the world, and that's pretty loud, right?
Yeah.
You get up close to that thing, and yeah, it's a roar. It's this continuous, loud sound. It's not a high sound. It's a low kind of
pretty low
kind of sound to it going on, like a that kind of thing. And here's an example sentence. I couldn't hear my friend over the roar of the typhoon winds.
这里呢用到 roar 这个字，它指的是风或海持续的呼啸声或是怒嚎声。那当然这个字也可以指动物的吼叫声，不过在这边不是哈。那我们说到呢，棕色噪音听起来比较天然，像是河流或是瀑布的声音。
So I guess it's more pleasant to listen to than white noise. And as far as I remember, pink noise is kind of white noise, but softer, more pleasant in the same way, like nothing's too high or annoying. So the article says people are listening to brown noise because of all kinds of health claims. So claims is the important word here. It's what people are claiming, but that doesn't mean that it's a proved 100% fact, as the article says. However, more studies are needed to conclude whether or not brown noise is actually effective. So this word conclude means to decide, to reach some kind of conclusion based on evidence. You get all the information, you study it, you analyze it, you make a final go. Okay, this is what we can conclude. This is the final judgment or result based on these facts. For example, the police officer concluded that the man had been killed by someone he knew rather than a stranger.Conclude 这个动词呢是做出结论断定某件事，像是呢你在英文作文当中要做结尾的时候，你可能会用上 to conclude 好，或者是 in conclusion。 那 conclusion 这个呢就是结论的名词了。 And we've also got the word effective. If something is effective, it's good at its job. Is brown noise effective? Does it do what people think it's going to do? Does it meet the claims? We often talk about somebody being effective at a particular job. Like if you're effective, you do the good job. But if you're thinking of medicine, I often think of, is the medicine effective? Will it work? For example, this effective medicine will get rid of your headache in no time.Effective 这个形容词呢，指的是有效的。那到底棕色噪音对健康的益处是什么？还需要科学家们来断定。So is it effective or not? Now, we're going to look at that tomorrow. We're going to look at some of these health claims, some of the things that brown noise is supposed to be able to do, and whether it can or can't in part 2 of our article tomorrow. Right now, we're going to go to today's For You Chat question, which is...Do you think listening to sounds could affect your health? Why or why not?
I'm not sure about the health part, but I'm sure listening to sounds can probably help you sleep better.
Yeah, it does for me, for sure.
And helps you stay in good mood?
Yeah, music does that, but it can affect your health, and I would actually point to my youngest brother as an example. He is and was a musician in some very loud bands, and he's also gone to see a lot of very loud bands playing shows. And I think over the years he did it, it has affected his hearing. His ears aren't as good as what they were because the amount of loud music being played near him. You might see a lot of professional musicians on stage. They might actually have an earplug or something in, but I imagine a lot of like that kind of heavy rock, punk rock, metal musicians have probably got damaged hearing because of long exposure to loud noises. Same for construction workers. If they're not protecting their ears, they'll get damage from the sound of all these machines that are close by to them. So yeah, it can, absolutely.
Yeah, loud sounds might damage your hearing. But what else?
Those are the obvious ones I can think of. I think if you're one of these people who can hear like every sound that your body makes, then you can you'll go a bit crazy because you never get any peace from it.
Yeah, you'll be really stressed out about it.
Yeah, that's a kind of a rare case though. But yeah, for sure. Now, what can brown noise do and what can't it do? That's what we'll look at for tomorrow. But right now, it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review. Buzz. There's been a lot of buzz about the sudden increase in crime over the past few weeks. Pitch. During the music lesson, the students learned about the importance of pitch in melodies. Hum. The hum of the air conditioner provided a calming noise during the hot day. Roar. The typhoon was very powerful. We could hear the roar of the wind outside the window. Conclude. After we looked at our bank account, we concluded that we should go to restaurants less often. Effective. Lying down in a dark room wasn't effective in curing my headache. I had to take medicine to feel better.
智慧小补帖
Particle. Frequency. Vacuum cleaner.